Good evening, class. Online class, is the AV working? Online class, yes, no, AV working? Okay, so we'll start with polity and governance. The topics for the day are Bureau of Port Security, Supreme Court Guidelines on Child Trafficking, Reservation for Agniveers in CAPF, Denotified Tribes to be enumerated in Census 2027, National Consumer Day and Consumer Commission in India. Okay. The first topic is Bureau of Port Security. Done? Now, first and foremost, if at all one thing you have to understand, now especially 2025, there are a lot of geopolitical conflicts that is going on. Well, Industrial Security Force or CISF. Usually this body is dedicated for security of your port areas. Recently they have renamed your CISF as Recognized Security Organization. What is CISF? You have to know just this much. CISF is for your port protection. Now they have been renamed as Recognized Security Organization. What will this CISF or your recently renamed RSO do? They will provide port security plans. That is, our port has to be secured. Okay, along with this, they do one more additional task also, that is whichever private, see port means both government also will use, private people also will use. Now they are telling if you are going to come into port area, I will give training to your people. Who will give? CISF will give training to even your private security agencies. They have to safeguard their let's say vessels, cargo, all of these. So CISF is telling, see, not everyone can come into the port. Now if you are a particular company, let's say the company called ABC that also uses ports, it's mainly doing import export business. It wants to safeguard its cargo, so for them they will keep one security. What your CISF is telling is, just like that I can't allow anyone into the port, you tell me who are your security personnel. I will give them training and I will also give them license. Only these licensed people with training can only enter my port. Done? So we'll see one possible question from this. The Bureau of Port Security is modeled on which of the following organization? I shouldn't have marked it, but it is not National Disaster Management Authority, not Central Industrial Security Force, Bureau of Civil Aviation Security, Directorate General of Shipping. So your confusion will not be in A or D, it will largely be in B and C. Okay, CISF provides security to ports. Based on that, you have not created Bureau of Security. Port Security, it is based on Bureau of Civil Aviation Security. It is an organization, this is also an organization, it's a body. Next topic is Supreme Court Guidelines on Child Trafficking. Done? See, first and foremost, it's a simple thing. Supreme Court has been telling that child trafficking is becoming very, more of, they are telling, look at this word, deeply disturbing reality. It should not happen. Constitution, we have given provisions under Article 23, exploitation should not happen for women and children, but it is happening. How is it happening? Through a layered frameworks. Layered framework means people are not able to understand how this thing is happening. Let's say you find any children, you find their emotional vulnerability, or you threaten them, or you force them, or somehow you take control of the children and take advantage of your porous borders. For example, India Nepal has the most porous border, and you are taking off children there. And those children, let's say you will get somehow, okay, your police authorities have got those children, now they will be bought. When they will be giving evidence, okay, usually what used to happen means, if in reality what they found out and what this person is telling has minor changes also, these people will discard this evidence. What your judiciary is telling is already the child has gone through a lot of things. To this person, you don't know how they have kept that child. Maybe they have always kept the child in container while they are transporting, or they keep making the child believe this is separate state. We don't know exactly what is happening. So when we let's say rehabilitate, or when we prevent these kind of trafficking things and bring the children to give us evidence, even if there are minor inconsistencies, don't tell this evidence is not valid. Take that strongly, so much so that if their evidence is strong enough, take that itself as a main evidence to make sure that the person will not commit this. Understanding? And also your judiciary is telling, especially when you're dealing with these victims, be much more sensitive. You don't know what they have gone through. Let this not make them the second victim. Second victim means already their first victim of child trafficking. By the way of our questioning, by the way of looking at us, making them feel and go through the same thing, we are again making them a victim of them. Understanding? So here they have issued guidelines for handling these matters in a very sensitive manner. So what is the Supreme Court telling? Child trafficking violates dignity, bodily integrity and fundamental rights. Bodily integrity, that is with respect to your rape, all those kind of things. And your Article 21, life and dignity is affected. Article 23, prohibition of trafficking in women and children. The victim suffered layered traumas, that is, what can be told is separate, what they felt is very different. Why is this happening? Because of organized crime on human trafficking. Done? Now first and foremost, what is Supreme Court telling? Status of the victim's testimony, meaning what? Trafficked children are to be treated as injured witnesses in the court proceedings. Treat the victims or trafficked children like injured witnesses. That is, they are broken. They will not be able to give you clear-cut explanation as to when, what happened, what time, what exactly happened. When someone is hale and healthy, you will tell run a 100-meter race. Let's say someone is suffering a 100-degree fever, 104-degree fever, will you tell them you have to run with them? You are naturally creating a disadvantage there. Next is high evidentiary value. Their testimony should be given the highest value, even if they have, okay, a little bit of changes in it, because they have undergone a different kind of circumstances in which huge trauma is caused for them. Okay, next is sole testimony. The conviction, okay, if the victim is giving a statement, or a victim is giving evidence that this person was only who did it, make it so strong enough that that itself should be enough to convict that person. Understanding? Next is, do not discredit their evidence, which means just because their evidence is not lining up. Let's say the victim is telling, okay, from Karnataka we went to Andhra Pradesh and then we went to Odisha. But in reality, when they tracked, it is seen that no, first from Karnataka they went to Goa, then they went to Madhya Pradesh. So this person ka story is separate, that thing actually happened is separate, so now their evidence is wrong. That way, don't do it. Minor contradiction or inconsistencies must not discredit the testimony of the victims. Okay. Next, it tells courts, do not expect precise information. On 12th, tell me where were you. On 13th, tell me where were you. On 14th, tell me where were you. Most times they don't even know if it is day or night outside. So, have realistic expectations, and this trauma has had an impact in their mind. So, they will not be able to give you exact things. Next is that human trafficking is very complex because it has been organized crime where many levels and many layers of people are involved in this. And to the best of how the victim remembers, that is how much they can tell. So, first and foremost important, why is this trafficking happening? Means it is because of poverty, marginalization, social and cultural context. Keeping all this in mind, let the courts be very empathetic to these victims. Because of poverty, because of threats, because of vulnerabilities of the people. Court is warning and also making sure that prevent secondary victimization. Already they have gone through that. When you make them go through that again, you are second victimizing them. So legal process must avoid re-traumatization. You should not make them live through the trauma again. And victim dignity must be protected at all costs. Okay, harsh or insensitive way of questioning should not be done. Done. So first and foremost, if they are silent on something you have asked, don't assume, yes, this is it. This is why this person is not answering. I have asked her a question, she didn't answer, maybe it is true. Because you don't know what they have gone through. Maybe they don't want to speak yet. Delayed reporting. It happened 1 year back. Why are you coming now and telling? It happened 2 years back. Why are you coming now and telling? Lack of resistance. Why didn't you fight back? Why didn't you do this? Okay, so don't put them in that position where you are being very insensitive towards them. So your behavioral stereotypes must be avoided. Done. So what exactly is child trafficking? Recruitment, transport, harboring or receipt of a child. Recruitment means, now this is one more very shocking thing that has come into picture. We all use delivery apps. There is no such thing as any particular delivery app is at issue. But because this culture is growing, many a time people have found that delivering people are all adults. But when the goods or stocks come in, someone has to sort through the contents. Yes or no? Let's say you have a godown where you have to sort all the chips packets, lace packets, all those things and keep in one place. Someone has to do that work. Who they are employing means children. Dark rooms, hours and hours of work they are being put through. Understanding? So this is what is recruitment. That also comes under this thing, is what your judiciary is telling. Including any ways why you are taking these people means either through coercion, deception or abuse of their vulnerability. Abuse of their vulnerability means what? Okay, your family is poor, you don't have money, if you come work for me, I'll give you this money. That is nothing but abuse of their vulnerability. Vulnerability here is what? Poverty. And even if you tell, I told that child, do you want to work? The child told, I want to work. So consent was there. It is a child. Consent of child here doesn't matter for any form of trafficking. Done? So what are the legal provisions that we have in our country for prohibition of child trafficking, women trafficking? First thing is fundamental right, article 23 prohibits trafficking and begar, forced labor. Next is Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita 2023, according to section 143 and 144, life imprisonment can be given for people who conduct these kind of things. Even beggary, that is forced making someone work for you, okay, forceful making them work in contractual manners, etc., is also coming under exploitation only. Next is Immoral Trafficking Act of 1956. It targets commercial sexual exploitation. Next is POXO Act. This is with respect to any form of abuse on children. Next is Criminal Law Amendment Act of 2013 defines trafficking, and irrespective of the child has given consent or not, if trafficking is done, that is a punishment. Next is Juvenile Justice Act of 2015 is about care, protection and rehabilitation of juveniles. That is more like your adolescents, below 18 people. Then shall we move ahead? So what are some of the important court judgments? Vishaljeet versus Union of India, they have held that trafficking is recognized as a socio-economic problem. Many times they are using the vulnerabilities of children is because of this, in the form of poverty, lower castes. Emphasis on prevention and rehabilitation. Prevention of human trafficking has to happen, and also those people have to be rehabilitated. In MC Mehta versus State of Tamil Nadu case in 1996, they held that child labor is banned in all hazardous industry and you have to create a rehabilitation fund for these children. Done? Next is Bachpan Bachao Andolan versus Union of India case 2011, where they have banned the children employment in circuses. Why specifically banned the children employment in circuses? Circuses, usually if you see, it has to happen in a planned manner. Be it animals or children, they all have to perform the similar way. Otherwise, they receive a lot of beating, physical torture and all those things. So, ban on child employment in circuses and strong anti-trafficking directions are issued. Also, India has international obligations because it is a part of all these things. UN Convention Against Transnational Organized Crime, UN Trafficking Protocol and SARC Convention on Trafficking in Women and Children. So, we are obligated to make sure that trafficking of women and children doesn't happen. Internationally also obligated, nationally also obligated. Done? We'll see one question from this. With reference to Supreme Court guidelines on child trafficking, consider the following statements. Trafficked children should be treated as injured witness by courts. Correct. Minor inconsistency in testimony of trafficked children must lead to rejection of their evidence. This is what used to happen, this is what shouldn't happen, they are telling. So 2 is wrong. Sole testimony of trafficked child can be sufficient for conviction if found credible. Correct. So correct one is 1 and 3 only. Next topic is reservation for Agniveers in CAPF. Done? First and foremost, recently Ministry of Home Affairs has told that we are going to give Group C post in central government jobs, like Group A, B, C, D in state, there is also Group A, B, C, D in center. In that, for all the Group C posts, I will increase the reservation for ex-Agniveers. Who those are, little bit later we will see. How much means, earlier I used to give only 10% reservation for Agniveers, now I am going to increase the quota to 50%. Okay, who is telling this? Ministry of Home Affairs. Done? First and foremost, Agniveers used to get 10%, now they are getting 50%. It is applicable only to Group C post in CAPF, Central Armed Police Forces. Okay, why was this done? So that these Agniveers can be employed. What exactly are they telling? See, in any central government posts, Central Armed Police Forces posts, there are examinations. Okay, like you have prelims, mains, interview, like that for Group C posts, they also have examination. First level is physical standard test and physical efficiency test. Okay, this they have to clear, then only they can go to written examination. Now they are telling, now if you wear an Agniveer, okay, already they would have worked as Agniveer, means for you, you don't have to take these two tests again. Which test? Physical standard test and physical efficiency test. You can directly go to the written examination like everyone else. If you are an Agniveer, you don't have to do this. If you are just a normal citizen, you have to take physical standard test, physical efficiency test, clear this and then write the written examination. So written examination is common for everyone, whether you are Agniveer or not. Okay. Now, what is this Agnipath scheme? Under this only your Agniveers will come. This scheme was launched in June 2022. It is a short-term military recruitment program. Now, according to the Agnipath scheme, 17.5 years, that is 17.5 years to 23 years youth who and all are there. They are more physically agile, they are more active, they can be more fast, precise, everything. Those people I will induct in military. For how many years? For 4 years. That is fixed term. Okay. After that 4 years, 25% of those people I will take into full-time employment. Rest remaining will go back. Okay, they have to find some other work. Usually what used to happen means, okay, they have worked for 4 years and come back, but let's say no one is getting any job. Now what will happen for them? So that is why your CAPF told that earlier only 10% I was hiring from your ex-Agniveers, no? Now 50% of you I will hire. Because you have to find some sort of employment and you already have the training also. Okay? So your Agnipath scheme is young and agile forces are recruited. They will be given technology oriented military and this will reduce the defense pension burden. Okay, majority of our money that we spend on defense goes in salary, pension, these kind of things only. So through this way we can reduce that burden and spend on military at the same time not compromising the quality. Done? So, what is the eligibility? Simple. You have to be an Indian citizen. Age criteria should be, earlier when they started in 2022, it was you have to be from 17.5 years to 23 years. But later when they started from 2023 onwards, it was 17.5 years to 21 years only. You should be only within this age bracket. Okay. So you should meet specific educational standards which will be mentioned in the scheme and physical standards and medical standards. So basically you should be physically fit. Okay. How is the recruitment in the Agnipath scheme? Agnipath scheme pe whoever this youth are going, those are called as Agniveers. They will be employed for 4 years only. Okay. They will be given the position as personnel below officer rank. In this 4 years, 6 months will be training for them. Where they will work? In Army, Navy, Air Force. Anywhere they can be put. Done? So, after 4 years, 25% in each batch will be absorbed into full-time employment. but the remaining have to go out and work something. So remaining Agniveers, what they will get means they will get one skill certificate. They can use that for any civilian employment. Now, just because you are entering into this doesn't mean that permanently you will be given a job. Okay? We'll move ahead. What is the pay you are giving? First and foremost, two things I want you to remember. It's okay if you forget the amount also. In this, there will be no concept of pension. The whole point this was created was because they don't have to pay pension burden. So how they will do means every month 30 to 40,000 a person will receive. That is, he is supposed to get, but he will not be given every month. Monthly salary will be somewhere from 30,000 to 40,000. While they are working, they will get 48 lakh rupees insurance coverage. They don't have to pay anything for that. That 48 lakh insurance coverage only during that 4-year term. Done? So we'll see one question from this. With reference to Agnipath scheme, consider the following statements. It's a short-term military recruitment scheme launched in 2022. Correct. Short-term is because it is fixed, 4 years only. Agniveers are recruited for a fixed tenure of 4 years. All Agniveers are entitled to pension after completion of service. No Agniveer is entitled to pensions. That was the whole point this was started. So this is wrong. 1 and 2 only. Next is denotified tribes to be enumerated in census 2027. Done? This is Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment has told that denotified tribes should be added in census 2027. Now this is a very important news is because for the first time these people will be added in the census. One time that they were added was in 1911 census during British period. After British period, now in 2027 census only for the first time they will be added. Who are those people? Denotified tribes. Why, what? We will see in the course of the video. Done? See, first and foremost, your British had this concept. Okay, very weird concepts it was. Many a times they used to find a section of people. See, in ours we have the concept of your this particular caste will do this particular job. You will associate a caste or a section or a grouping of people to something. Yes or no? Like that, British had associated certain tribes as your criminal tribes. Why did British call them criminal tribes? Means according to them, their genetics or their mind itself is in such a manner that anyone born in this tribe will always keep doing offences only. And these offences they will continue irrespective of the generation. Let's say you will bring one person, reform him, give him an employment, but a child born to that person will innately from genetics will have this issue. So they kept calling those people as criminal tribes. They had put that under Criminal Tribes Act of 1871. They were held as habitual offenders. No matter how much you do, they will go on to commit that mistake only. Okay. Once India got independence, a lot of committees were created just to see what exactly is this criminal tribes. All those committees told this is a very horrible thing, don't do this, remove that concept. Remove them from the concept of criminal tribes. Okay, legally they removed the concept of criminal tribes, but the social stigma continued. Oh, you're born to this person, you are this only. That concept of social stigma continues. Okay, there is no census record of their population after 1911 because they were not added. Okay, understand two most important thing. These people are Indian citizens only. Okay, this is not about citizenship. It is about their identity. Now, these tribes are there. No, criminal tribes, they were called in British time. We call them, no longer we are going to call them criminal tribes and all. We have denotified it. But these people should be called something, general merit, SC, ST, OBC, some category pe you have to put. None of those categories pe they have ever been put at all. Okay, that is what it means when we tell no census recorded their population after 1911. That doesn't mean these people are not citizens of India, these people are not, they are citizens only. But they do not get any benefits from the government because they have not been classified into any category. Now, for the first time, your ministry is telling in 2027, put them in census. We have to get to know them and then we have to give them either a new grouping or add it in any existing grouping. We have to see that. So, who are these denotified tribes? These communities were earlier called as criminal tribes by the British. Why are they targeted? Because they had nomadic lifestyles. And why we didn't have add them in any census after 1911? They used to not be in one place for more time. They will keep on moving. Nomadic people, occupational mobility and social marginalization, which means anywhere they go, they are targeted as this particular group. So when we repealed the concept of criminal tribe, legally we removed the tag, but socially we could not remove the tag. Okay. So the DNTs are not getting any benefits or we have not added them under anything is because we don't know whether we have to put them in SC, ST, OBC or create a separate list. First, to do this we have to know how many people are there. Roughly we have seen that around 10 to 12 crore people they are. Because they are not classified in anything, they do not get any reservation benefits, they do not get any welfare schemes, and even for policy making people don't even know that this section exists. So they are almost politically invisible. Done? So among the denotified tribes only there are two types. One is nomadic tribes, one more is semi-nomadic tribes. Nomadic tribes means they never settle anywhere, they will keep on moving for your pastoralism, trading. Example is like your Banjara tribes and Rabari tribes. Semi-nomadic tribes is seasonal settlement, that is based on your base village will be one thing, for agricultural purposes in certain seasons they'll go somewhere. Example is like your Gaddis and Maldaris. Done? So, which are the government committees which were created under your denotified tribes? Iyengar committee in 1949. This was the committee that told first remove the concept of criminal tribes. Okay. So, this is what led to removing the concept of Criminal Tribes Act and we call them denotified tribes. The name itself denotified, we have not put them under any category yet. Next is Lokur committee. In 65 they told treat the denotified tribes as a separate group. Do not just call them SC, ST or OBC. Create a separate grouping for them. All these are just recommendation so that we can give development schemes based on how they are. Next is Renke Commission. According to this commission, they have estimated somewhere your denotified tribes are 10 to 12 crore in population. and they are severely deprived, which means they are not getting any benefit. According to IDTA Commission, they have identified more than 1200 plus denotified tribes. From your mains perspective, these two commissions are very important. Jayanagara Commission was the one who denotified it. So, if you add them in 2027 census, what will be the benefit? This will be helpful in making policy specially for them. You can give them what they are severely deprived of, either education, employment, stability, stay in one place, and also address the historical invisibility. Largely denotified tribes are called as they are invisible. Okay, not physically invisible, but because of the social scenarios. We'll see one question based on this. With reference to denotified tribes, consider the following statements. The upcoming census 2027 will mark first official entry of DNTs after independence. Correct. The last census that recorded DNTs was conducted in 1911. Correct. Denotified tribes were enumerated regularly after the repeal of Criminal Tribes Act. No. The concept of regularly itself does not apply to them. So the answer is 1 and 2 only. Next topic, National Consumer Day and Consumer Commissions in India. Done? First and foremost, National Consumer Day is observed on 24th of December. What is this National Consumer Day? It will highlight consumer rights and role of consumer commissions. Done? We'll move ahead. Why do we call something as National Consumer Day? There should be some importance for this. This is very special is because the President gave his signature to a bill called as Consumer Protection. The day he gave his signature, it became an act. That is called as Consumer Protection Act of 1986. In 1986, when President gave signature to this bill is called as National Consumer Day, because this promotes consumer awareness and responsible consumption. So basically, consumer got a right in the very first time. Thus, we celebrate December 24th as Consumer Day. On your December 24th Consumer Day, we had the theme of efficient and speedy disposal through digital justice. Important from prelims statement perspective. Done? So, we have created something called Consumer Commission. These are quasi-judicial bodies. That is, if a consumer has any issue, be it with respect to any seller, any company, he can bring that issue to the Consumer Court. Okay. This was established under Consumer Protection Act of 1986. It is a statutory body. Okay. Now, what is the point of Consumer Commission? Speedy justice, affordable remedies, and also protection of consumer from unfair trade practices. Yes. See, back then 1986 there was no such a large concept of online shopping. Today majority chunk itself is based on that only. So this particular act doesn't speak on that. Okay. Then finally they brought in multiple changes. That is, three-tier consumer redressal mechanism which was added in 2019, wherein they told that there will be three things. District Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission, which will be for each district level. This particular commission, okay, in district level can handle cases which are worth up to 50 lakhs. Worth up to 50 lakhs means, let's say I purchased some material from a company. It was worth 20 lakhs. Now up to 50 lakh tak, then I come to know the material is faulty, etc. Then I can go put a case on him in District Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission. Okay. Who will be there in a District Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission means there will be a president. The president is nothing but someone who should have been a district judge or someone who is qualified to become a district judge. Okay, and if they don't like the award given by this commission, they can appeal it to the state commission, that is next level. District level is one means, next is state level commission. Okay. Next is State Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission. They can handle cases from 50 lakh to 2 crore rupees. Who will be the members of commission means, the president will be either a sitting or a retired high court judge. If they don't like the award given here, they can appeal to a national commission. Next is National Commission. Here above 2 crore ka cases, 2 crore and there is no up to. From 2 crores any amount it can be. Here the composition, again who will be in this commission? There will be someone called as president. Who is he? He is either a sitting judge of Supreme Court or a High Court judge. The appeal from here will go directly to Supreme Court of India. So there are three levels: District Commission, State Commission, National Commission. Then we'll move ahead. So how this commission will be? Alternate dispute resolution bodies these are. These will not replace civil courts. Okay. See, instead of going to a court which will take a lot of period of time and then again there you have to spend so much money, rather this particular commissions, if you come, they are there only to try for these issues only. These commissions are not an alternative to civil courts. Now, in many of the cases, judicial pronouncements, if you see, Indian Medical Association versus VP Shanta 1995 case, they held that medical services also come under Consumer Protection Act. Let's say you are buying some device, someone had a leg transplant, knee transplant, the device is faulty, then also you can apply under your Consumer Protection Act, even because that is also something that a consumer is taking. Next, under Ambrish Kumar Shukla versus Ferrous Infrastructure, they told that the jurisdiction will be based on total claim value. If you are going to raise a case, we saw no 50 lakh up to 2 crores, all those things, that will be based on entire claim of this suit. Next is Gnanesh Kumar Selukar case. Supreme Court had told that create some permanent adjudicatory bodies just for dealing with this consumer disputes. Done? So Consumer Protection Act 2019, remember 1986 ka act was only dealing with your direct purchases, but now everything is digital purchase, so that changes were made. This Consumer Protection Act 2019 replaced the Consumer Protection Act of 1986, and this addresses the modern marketplace challenge, which means your digital purchase, your online, anyway you are a consumer, you have purchased something, means you are all protected under this Consumer Protection Act of 2019. Okay. What are all the rights it gives for the customers? Right to be informed, right to be protected, right to be heard, and right to redressal. See, under this right to be informed, today if you say any packaged products, if you go purchase, your Consumer Protection Act gave one, FSSAI also gave one rule that anything, be it Lays, chips, biscuit, anything, behind that ingredients list pay, the first item you are supposed to put is the maximum thing that is there in this product. Okay, your company is told no, that will hurt our economy, etc. This is when they invoked this. The customers have the right to be informed as to what they are eating or what they are using. So that is why if you see many of packaged products, everything will be big, broad, shiny, but the ingredients will be very minute. The first ingredient will be the largest quantity in that entire product. Then, so Central Consumer Protection Authority was established in 2020. It will prevent unfair trade practices, regulate misleading advertisement, act against manufacturers and endorsers. In our current affair class only, remember we are told ORS, and then in very small tiny letters, this is not WHO recommended ORS. So this is where prevent unfair trade practices. So what are the major consumer protection initiatives that we have in India? Consumer Welfare Fund, which provides initiatives for consumer education and also for fund sharing model, where 75% will be given by center, means 25% has to be given for states in normal scenario. If it is northeastern states or Himalayan states, 90% will be contributed by center, 10% by state. Other aspects we have is e-Jagrati, okay, which is nothing but a digital platform which will be started for consumer grievance redressal, whatever issues we have. In that only they have many things such as e-Dakil, Confonet, NCR, all these things have only one work. Online filing of your issues, virtual hearing, they will listen to the cases online itself. You don't have to physically go somewhere. And case tracking, okay, what is happening to my case? Okay, this will give you faster justice, speedy justice. Understanding? So major consumer protection initiatives, they have also started a helpline, National Consumer Helpline, which will be able to, it is AI enabled and multilingual. Okay, you can have even in regional languages, you can chat, text, type, and also before you go formally lodge a case itself, they will try to bring a solution to that case. That is why pre-litigation resolution. Through this way, at least 12 lakh plus complaints they are dealing with. Shall we move ahead? So, they have also started creating digital consumer awareness. Your Eat Right campaign, Fit India campaign, they are trying to address health also, but also try to create the consumer awareness also in every way. And one of the most important thing is disguised ads. For example, your ORSL itself is a disguised ad. It tells us something you have to drink if you have to, let's say, rehydration, etc. But in reality, if you see, it looks like ORS, but they type it is not ORS in very small minuscule letters. Or they make it feel like this is very much mandatory for me, this is some wellness, this is something that is needed. Understanding? So there's also something called Bureau of Standards, which will set a standard for each product. Then Apart from that, we also have national test house. You can take whichever product you're let's say consuming, you can get it tested. You also have legal metrology rules, which means they are telling whatever labeling you have to do, it has to be simple in a way that citizens should understand, and you have to disclose what and all you are using, like proper standards of how you have manufactured those things. Then most times on the product, very packaged shiny products, you can't see where exactly the pricing itself is. It will be very much disguised somewhere on the little corner of the leaflets, etc. You have to be tempted to pick it up, and you should not be worried about the price. That is the objective that they do, companies. So one question will say, National Consumer Day marks the President assent to which of the legislation? CPA Act of 2019, Competition Act of 2002, Consumer Protection Act of 1986, Legal Metrology Act. Consumer Protection Act of 1986. Okay. So this completes our today's topics. Clear up until here? Any doubts? Online class, any doubts? We'll end the session.